When I stepped into the courtroom, my mother sneered with disgust, and my dad averted his gaze. You know that gut-wrenching feeling when you realize the people who should love you most are actually your cruelest enemies? Imagine walking into a courtroom, poised for battle, only to discover a far more insidious fight awaits, one that could expose a chilling, decades-old murder plot, implicating your own parents. It was a day that started with them calling me a disgrace, but ended with a revelation that shattered my entire world, proving they were not just neglectful, but monsters. Don't you dare embarrass us, Anna, my mother hissed, her words a venomous whisper as we pushed through the heavy courthouse doors. My father, of course, wouldn't even look at me, his gaze fixed on some distant, invisible point, as if I were a literal stain on his pristine existence. Nothing new there. I just kept walking, the sharp click of my heels against the polished marble echoing the steely resolve I'd spent years forging. I'm Anna, I'm 31, and for pretty much my entire life, I've been the family failure. The dropout, the disappointment, the daughter they conveniently forgot existed when relatives asked about their kids. We were here, in a nondescript courthouse, because my parents, Helen and Robert Thompson, were trying to evict their tenant, a woman named Claire. Her crime? Daring to ask for repairs before paying rent on an apartment that was quite literally falling apart. My parents, bless their greedy hearts, own 3 rental properties, all inherited from my grandfather. And trust me, they ran them like medieval landlords collecting tribute from their serfs. Claire had lived in one of their apartments for 2 years, always paid on time, until the ceiling started leaking and a horrifying patch of black mold bloomed in her daughter's bedroom. She'd withheld rent, asking for the necessary repairs first. My parents' response? An immediate eviction notice. She signed a contract. My mother had ranted at my sister, Melissa, over the phone just weeks ago. She doesn't get to just stop paying because she's picky about a little moisture. A little moisture, that's what she called black mold. I'd heard about the case through Melissa, my younger sister, who, at 28, still lived under their suffocating thumb. She mentioned it so casually, no idea that I'd spent the last 7 years of my life clawing my way through law school, working 3 jobs, sometimes sleeping in my beat-up car, and finally passing the bar exam. I did it all on my own, not a single dollar or word of encouragement from them. They didn't even know I'd gone to college, let alone become an attorney. The day I'd walked out of their house at 19, my father had thrown my belongings onto the front lawn like I was garbage. You're nothing, he'd screamed, his face red with fury. You'll never amount to anything without us. My mother had stood in the doorway, arms crossed, a cold smirk on her face. Don't come crawling back when you fail. And I hadn't. Even when I was sleeping in that cramped car behind a grocery store, surviving on stale vending machine snacks. Even when I was so exhausted from overnight shifts I could barely keep my eyes open in class. I never, ever went back. I would rather have starved than swallow my pride and beg from people who had made it crystal clear I was utterly worthless. Now, as we neared the courtroom, I watched my mother meticulously smooth and then watched the full story link is attached below.